All right, so for number 3, this is a tangent. So we've got to kind of just write out the whole formula first, and then we'll go back and kind of plug in. So this is saying we're going to do tan of pi over 4 minus the tan of pi over 6 all over 1 plus, we switch that sign, tan of pi over 4 times tan of pi over 6. Okay, and then we are going to our handy dandy unit circle. So tangent of pi over 4, what does that give us? What's tangent of pi over 4, guys? Remember tangents, y over x, it's sine over cosine. So tangent of pi over 4 or 45 degrees, yeah. It's just 1, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. If you need come grab a unit circle. Go grab a unit circle if you need one. You need to. Okay. And then minus tangent of pi over 6. Root 3 over 3. Thank you. Sorry about that. That's all of a sudden I realized that's what the issue is. You guys don't have your unit circles in front of you. Okay.
I'm still confused on where the bottom on that first part. Why is there a 1? Where's the 1 come from?
It's just part of the formula. That's how, if you derive the formula, that's going to be part of it. So you just have to include it. Okay, so it's going to be 1 plus, and then we're going to multiply those two things together. So we're multiplying 1 times the square root of 3 over 3, so we just get the square root of 3 over 3. Okay. All right, so remember on this one, you saw an example like this yesterday or whenever it was, yesterday. We got to find common denominator first, and then we're going to have to rationalize. So to find the common denominator, we're going to rewrite these 1s. So we're going to rewrite this as 3 over 3 minus the square root of 3 over 3. And then all over 3 over 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3. Okay? All right, I'm going to write out some extra steps, but I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to get to the point where you don't have to do all of this extra steps, and you can go from this step to this next step here in just a second. All right, this gives us 3 minus root 3 over 3 all over 3 plus root 3 over 3. So just watch this part. If you feel like you need to write it, then please do, but I'm hoping you can kind of see how you can get to it without having to write out all of these steps. We've got to do keep it, change it, flip it, and when we do that, this would become 3 over 3 plus root 3 here. And what happens is those 3's divide out, and so you are left with 3 minus root 3 in the numerator and 3 plus root 3 in the denominator. So if you can skip these steps, if you can't, that's okay, but just realize you're going to have a little bit more work to do. If you can skip writing out those steps and you can go straight from this to that, it's just going to save you a little bit of time and effort and energy. Because notice what's happening here, guys. What we're looking for, what we end up getting is just this numerator, right, over this numerator. Excuse me, I said denominator, but it's the numerator in the denominator, right? Okay, and now we need to rationalize. So what are we multiplying by? on top and bottom.
3 minus root 3.
Yep, 3 minus root 3. Top and bottom, good. Okay, so remember in the numerator, we've got to FOIL completely. In our denominator, I'm just going to put a little note, a reminder to myself. I only have to multiply the first and last. That's the beauty of multiplying by the conjugates. Okay, so in the numerator, we get first is 9, outside is minus 3 root 3, inside is also 3 root 3, and then we get plus 3 all over. First and last on that denominator is just going to be 9 minus 3. I'm not doing a very good job of showing all of this, that all of this is equivalent. If we clean this up and add our like terms, we get 12 minus 6 root 3 all over 6. And then here's a Mickey Mouse ears situation, and you should be getting this, right? I talked to you about this, that for all of your tangent answers, you should be getting something that looks like this. It's going to have a 2 in it. It's going to have a square root of 3, and so you just have to determine the signs, whether they're positive or negative for both of those. Okay? All right. I don't know, Luke, did that help?
Yeah, I was just confused with the formula at the beginning.
With that formula? Okay. So we can't, yeah, the formula is what it is. We can't change that. It's kind of like when you first learn the quadratic formula, you're like, what in the heck is all of this gobbledygook? But then so you memorize it and you plug in and you're like, okay, it is what it is.
I just didn't connect that. The top one was subtraction. After that, the tan and tan multiplied.
Yeah, you multiply them on the bottom. Okay, good. All right, let's talk about 24. That was the other one. Rihanna, I think you had asked about this one. Okay, so once again, if you notice, what we're given, it looks like the right-hand side of our formulas. So we got to work kind of backwards, and we're going to rewrite this. So we need to be rewriting this as, we know it's going to be the tangent of something, and it's going to be the two angle measures. We need to decide, should it be plus or minus, and then we've got to put those angle measures in. So the beauty of the tangent equation is that whatever the sign is up on top, that's the sign you're going to put in between your parentheses. So since it's plus here, you're going to put plus here. And so we've just got to put our 5 pi over 12. That's our one value, and our other value is 7 pi over 12 in that order. And that gives us, and we just have to clean this up, so we get tangent of 12 pi over 12, which just means we're doing tangent of pi. And we know that's just, if we do y over x at tangent of pi, at pi, we're going to get 0 over negative 1, which is 0. All right, so let's look at one other example from the homework problems. And I'm going to talk you through that as well. So let's look at number 7 from the bookwork. And if you notice, it asks for the cosine of negative 5 pi over 12. Notice it's negative there. So I went to my handy dandy note packet, and the reference numbers that I asked you to write in, the equivalent fractions that I wrote you to write in the margin, and I'm looking for numbers that when I subtract them, I get that negative 5 pi over 12. So I chose, there are probably others, but I chose 3 pi over 12 minus 8 pi over 12. Now, when I rewrite this formula and I'm plugging into the formula, I don't want to use that 3 pi over 12, remember. I would rather use pi over 4, and I want to use, instead of 8 pi over 12, I want to think of that as 2 pi over 3. So this is my first angle measure, this is my second angle measure. And I'm doing the cosine, so, and this was subtraction. So this is, I'm going to rewrite this as the cosine of pi over 4 minus 2 pi over 3, so that I can see that a little bit clearer and I can work on the formula the way it should be. So we know we're going to do, from the formula that tells us we're going to do cosine of pi over 4 times the cosine of 2 pi over 3. And then because it's minus here, it's going to have to be plus here. So now it's going to be sine of pi over 4 times the sine of 2 pi over 3. All right, you do have to be careful with your positive and negative signs. But now we've got to go to our handy dandy unit circle, and we're just looking for those values on our unit circle. So the cosine of pi over 4, and if we go and look for that pi over 4, we know that's 45 degrees, and cosine is going to be root 2 over 2 times cosine of 2 pi over 3. Look over in our unit circle, where's 2 pi over 3? And we're looking for the cosine value, so that's negative 1/2 plus sine of pi over 4 we know is root 2 over 2, and then sine of 2 pi over 3, if you look for the y coordinate, that's the sine, it's root 3 over 2. All right, and now we've just got to multiply and clean this up. So this gives us a negative root 2 plus root 6, and then all of this is over 4. Now I did skip that step. I'm hoping you can go just to kind of make your work a little bit easier. If we have it as negative root 2 over 4 plus root 6 over 4, you can go straight to this step from here to here. Okay, so there's the final answer for that one. I'm hoping this gives you a little bit more help if you were struggling with the homework. Thanks.